Hello guys, Gameboy Hub here, and in today's video, as you can see, we are back on Red Star OS. I must admit it looks quite amazing in the 1920 by 1080 full resolution. So this is installed inside of VirtualBox on my main PC, and as you can see I already changed the language to English as well as enabled the internet access on it. So as you can see, if we want, we can go to google.com and it works just fine. Now, why do I have this set up like this? Well, because about 3 weeks ago I made a video on installing Red Star OS on original hardware. It is in the iCard right now if you want to check it out. And there I talked a little more about what this operating system actually is. So this is the operating system that they use in North Korea. And yeah, we just messed around with it a bunch on original hardware and it was quite a fun experience. But in that video I also figured out that they built in an old version of Wine inside of this software. And if you don't know what Wine is basically a program that lets you run Windows applications on Linux. And it has some other name inside of this software, but yeah. And I couldn't find Wine anywhere on this software while I was making that video, and in the meantime I figured out why. And that is because you actually need to install it as an extra from the install DVD. So yeah, I just set up this virtual machine fully as it was on my other laptop. So we're gonna try to install Wine today, and we're gonna see what kind of apps we can install. We're just gonna play around with it a little bit because I don't even know what's possible inside of this software. Nobody really messed around with that. So yeah, let's get started with this experiment, I guess. And also, if you want me to make a quick video on how to set up Red Star OS in a virtual machine like this, so you have it all in HD and stuff, and also that the language is changed to English and internet access is enabled, yeah, definitely leave that in the comments because I can make a full video on that. But yeah, let's just get started and let's enter the install DVD. I have it mounted in my DVD drive. And there is this optional repo file, and it is a repository setting file, which I have no idea what it is. But basically, we're just supposed to double click on it and run this. And there we go. Now it says welcome to install, and I like that they ripped off macOS even in this install window. This is how the install windows look on macOS. So we're just gonna click next. And yeah, now it lets us select a bunch of things. As you can see, it's still loading up some things. And it is just loaded up, so we can select a bunch of things over here. So let's just select to install every single thing. And yeah, we'll just click next and install everything. And let's hope that Wine appears. Okay, so now it will open up all of the packages and you get this little hourglass GIF. And here we go. These are all of the things that it is going to install. So I'll just allow it to do its thing and click next. And now let's hope that that will install pretty swiftly, but I'll be back when it's finished. And after a while it says successfully installed, so let's just restart our computer and see what was installed. There we go, so we get some kind of warning, I don't know why, I'll just click OK. Okay, and apparently we get another one, so that's fine, I guess. So let's see what we got over here. I see that this wasn't here before. I have no idea what compress is. We also seem to have some kind of game over here. But yeah, we got a bunch of other things. We got a CD/DVD driver, photo booth, office. I'm not sure if that was here before. I don't think it was. But let's see if we got the thing that we need. And here it is. We found it. So this is the app that lets you install Windows software on this thing. And it is something 3.0. It has a little Windows XP logo on it. When you click on it, you get a help button, a install button, and a run button. So I guess that we need to get an exe file and then like drag it here or click on this or something. Oh, there we go. So it does open some kind of application after we launch this. Oh, there we go. Nice. We get Adobe Photoshop. So we have a bunch of supported applications to go. Adobe Photoshop 7.0, 8.0, CS5, CS2. I don't know why it suggests Photoshop. I'm not sure if you can just install that from the actual app, which is pretty cool if you can. Oh no, you can't. You do actually need to have the exe, it seems. I don't know why it has all of the Photoshop suggestions. That is pretty interesting. Welcome to visit this program. Nice translation. Version 3.0, all rights reserved. So yeah, we won't see the program name, unfortunately. Okay, so let's try to get a random exe file and see if we can run this. Let me also see if I can move this to the app dock, maybe. Yeah, we can. There we go. Now it's right over here. So let's go to Nainara browser, and what I first want to try is to get another browser to work on this thing. Mozilla Firefox, Chrome, and all of the other ones probably won't work because this is quite an old operating system. I'm thinking about trying Chromium. That might work, and if that doesn't work, then I'll just look for some lightweight browsers and we'll try those out. But let's just go to google.com first. So yeah, let's try to install Chromium first and see if that would be able to work on this. And that web page won't even load, which is interesting. Let's see if we can get it from somewhere else. Okay, this one might want to load. Okay, so we do get a download Chromium button. So let's try to download that and we'll see if that is able to work. And yeah, unfortunately the Chromium website won't load in Nainara browser. We can always just import the exe through my normal computer, but I do want to try to actually download everything inside of this software. Yeah, let me Google what kind of other web browsers we can try, and then I'll try one of those. Okay, so after a quick Google, I found a browser that works on Windows XP, so that should be fine for this. So let's see if we can load that web page, and we can. There we go. So here is Chameleon. It seems that this was latest updated in 2022, so I'm not sure if that will be a good alternative to the Nainara browser, but we can try to download it. So let's get the downloader right over here. I do want the installer, and we hit a snag. Nice. So it can't open SourceForge, obviously. So let's try the portable version. Is that also on SourceForge? Yeah, everything is hosted on SourceForge, which is not ideal. That's pretty interesting. And Nainara does actually open the Mozilla website to some extent. It is pretty buggy though. So I don't know if we should try this, but let's try to get the Firefox, even though I'm pretty sure it won't download. Okay, so it did detect that we are on Linux. I would like the Windows version, if we can get that. So here it is, the Windows version. So let's hope that we can download this. I just need to allow all of this and some more apparently. So let's just allow all of these websites, and here it is, Firefox installer.exe. So let's save this file and let's hope that we are able to actually make this work. Okay, and now we have that .exe file saved somewhere. I'm not sure where, however, so let's try to find where that has been saved. So let's go into Kfinder right here, and let's hope that there is a downloads, and there is a download folder. Yeah, and yeah, it's right here, and it does automatically show the app's icon. So I guess let's just double click on it and see what happens. Okay, it tells us that the application is already running. Is there anything that has started? Nope, it hasn't. Okay, so the app has just opened up, so I'll just select unsupported applications over here and click on the install button, and now I'll just navigate to where my exe file is for Firefox. Here it is. I'll just click OK, and let's click setup. Do you want to install selected software? Yes. So let's see what happens, I guess. If this actually works, I'm gonna be very surprised, because if it is that easy to install a normal web browser on here, then that is just wild. Right, so this has been spinning for about 10 minutes now, which is not ideal. I'll just let it spin some more, but I will stop the recording because I didn't expect this to take so long. But yeah, if this doesn't work, I'll just move a few exe files onto the virtual machine off camera, because I can't get anything useful from the Nainara browser, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll get some other browsers that might work on older versions of other operating systems, and we'll see if they work in Red Star. And if we find one that works, then I'll continue in here and download everything from that other browser. So I found this little browser called Supermium, and I believe that this is based on Chromium. Yes, it is. And this is supposed to work on Windows XP, so I'm just gonna hope that it will work on Red Star. And also, I'm just gonna assume that this won't work because this has been spinning for already 15 minutes now. So yeah, I'll just shut down the machine. And here is the exe that we need to put in the virtual machine, so I'll just do that right now. Okay, so about 20 minutes later from the previous recording. So I wanted to try to install Supermium, which is a Chromium-based web browser that is made to run on Windows XP. But of course, I couldn't install it from the Nainara browser because it was hosted on GitHub. So what I thought I could do is just install it on my host machine and then drag it over to Red Star OS, but apparently drag and drop doesn't work even though I enabled it. So I put the Supermium exe file on a physical flash drive, and then I added it to the virtual machine, and it didn't recognize it at first, but after a restart it did. So now we have the exe over here finally. So let's just drag it over to our desktop, and we finally have the exe that we wanted to try. Great. So let's launch the application and try to install Supermium this time, because Firefox did not work. So we'll go for unsupported applications, click install. Let's find our exe. It is on the desktop, and here it is. So let's click OK, setup, and yes. And let's see what happens now. Ooh, there we go. Now we actually got a prompt. Do you want to install Supermium? We didn't get that with the Firefox. So let's click yes. So I guess this is how this software is supposed to work. It's just supposed to give you the normal prompt that it would on Windows. So let's click yes. Okay, we get the extracting tab. Would you look at that? It gets the old exe icon right up here in the dock. That is pretty cool. And also, I don't know why my mouse is currently hollow, but it looks pretty cool if you ask me. And now it is spinning once again. It is trying really hard, so let's hope that this does work. Install is successfully completed. Please log in again. Oh, please tell me that this worked. Okay, let's try to restart the computer once again, and let's cross fingers and hope that this worked. Okay, so we just rebooted and I can't see any new applications, so let's hope that this is somewhere. Yeah, so I can't find the browser anywhere, so let's try to maybe go into this application once again. Maybe we need to go over to the Run tab, but let's just go over to the... Yeah, let's launch Run and see what happens. Okay, and it tells us open files. So I have no idea where it installed the files to. Apparently it's not documents, so yeah, let's just relaunch the install tab and see what happens. Also, Supermium doesn't even show up under the remove software tab, which is not that great. We also have the wine settings over here, which do look the same as the Windows configuration window, and Windows version is selected Windows XP, so technically Supermium should work. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to find it, but I guess it must be somewhere, right? No, it doesn't have to be somewhere because it didn't work. And let me tell you a little bit about the 3-hour circus that just unfolded, because I don't want this video to last for that long. We tried Supermium, it didn't work, it wouldn't show up. Next, I wanted to try Chameleon, that did not work, wouldn't show up. Then I wanted to try out Chromium, that worked even less. I even tried to install the Linux version of Chromium, and you can guess how that went. So what is there left to do? Of course, look for an older version of Firefox that might be supported. And oh my god, okay, this one actually shows the setup wizard. Oh, please work. Well, the setup wizard finished, but would the program launch? Of course not. I tried the same thing out with the MyPal browser and that ended up in the same way as Firefox. The setup just completed, but it wouldn't launch. So yeah, I guess that is it. Now I'm back in the present where I'll probably explain some of this all over again. And I'll try to install some games on this thing. Right, so I've been messing around with this for closely to 6 hours now. And as you can see, I've managed to get Mozilla Firefox 45 as well as MyPal to install. Now MyPal is just another Windows XP browser that is supposed to work on these older OSs, but unfortunately none of these launch. I can't tell you why, I just double click on the application and nothing happens with both of these. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much impossible to install another browser on this thing. I did see a video of a guy who got Chromium to run on this thing, but he did some pretty advanced kernel editing in order to do that. I do not know how to do that. If any of you guys know how to do it, definitely leave it in the comments and I'll make a video. And also, right now I'm asking all of you guys, try to install a web browser on this thing, and if any of you guys got it to work, contact me on Twitter, contact me on my email or somewhere, and I'll definitely reach out to you and make a video about it. So yeah, I am gonna try another thing though, which is what I also saw while browsing Reddit, and that is Doom running on Red Star OS. So let's see if Red Star OS can run Doom. So I moved an older version of Chocolate Doom to the USB drive, so let's just transfer that and all of the WOD files over to the virtual machine. So yeah, for this you will need a version of Chocolate Doom, which I'll just link in the description. And you'll also need a Doom WOD file to whichever game you want, so I won't leave that in the description because it is copyrighted material. So let's unzip Chocolate Doom, and here it is. So let's open up this folder, and here is the actual folder itself. So let's just move the Doom 1 WOD into the folder like so, and we should be able to run Chocolate Doom. There you go. Whoa, what happened there? You may need to upgrade your version of Doom to 1.9. Nice. What happened there? Damn. Also minimize this window. I don't know why it did that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's just try Doom 2 instead of Doom 1. So I'll delete that WOD and let's try Doom 2. So let's try to run this once again. And yeah, Doom 2 seems to be running absolutely fine. I don't know why it is in this weird windowed configuration, but it does work. Okay, so we can run the setup program and configure the display, so let's do that right now. So I don't want to do full screen and I'll do 800 by 600. So let's click Save Parameters and launch Doom. Nice, there we go, that looks a bit better now. And yeah, now my mouse also works, which is pretty good. Yeah, but I'm moving with the mouse as well, which is not ideal. Yeah, I think we can also change that in the Chocolate Doom settings, so you don't need to walk around with the mouse. But as you can see, Doom works on Red Star OS, which is pretty cool to see, I guess. This is the first thing that we actually got working, so yeah, there we go, Doom 2 works. So yeah, I guess we can quit out of that. I also just remembered something else that I wanted to try out, so let's try to run Classic Cube on this thing. And if you don't know what Classic Cube is, it is basically an older version of Minecraft that is made to run on all kinds of other systems. So this can run on like old macOS systems, even in MS-DOS, I believe, so I'll also leave a link to this in the description. So let's see if that will work. Okay, so here we have the .exe, let's try to run it. Okay, we'll try to download some of the resources. I'm not sure if it will be able to reach it from here, I hope it will. Yeah, it seems that it will, nice. Oh no, it won't. I spoke too soon. But that's okay, it seems to work without those resources anyways, so let's go on to the enhanced. I'll go for single player, please. And there we go. Oh no, it crashed. Okay, it just crashed, so that's not good. And this seems to be Minecraft version 1.3.7, or at least what is left of it after being downsized to run on these kind of systems. And unfortunately, it is not letting us move around. However, we did seem to manage to access the options, so let's see what do we have. Okay, let's lower all of the graphics options as much as we can. However, everything is pretty much lowered. Let's do the view distance to the lowest one that we can do and click done and back to game. So our mouse seems to work just fine, but unfortunately we can't move around. I don't know why that is. Let me try to change it in the options. So forward is W. I don't know why that is not recognized. Oh, it's because we also have the mouse. Let me just quit the game to see if there are any more options that we can enable. So yeah, let's try that one more time. I hope it will work better. So yeah, maybe it's because I'm missing all of these optional things. That might be why it's so buggy. So yeah, that might be the case, but we do actually have Minecraft, or at least Classic Cube, running on this thing, which is pretty cool. So what we basically gathered from this video is that you can run any of these old applications that are sort of simple or made to be very simple, but anything really with a real installer or that has to connect to the internet, that's where you hit a problem. So yeah, that will be pretty much it from the programs that I'll check out today. So Classic Cube was kind of a success. I just can't figure out the controls. However, that might not be due to Red Star OS, but due to all of those things not being downloaded. Doom was also a success because it played just fine. And yeah, pretty much anything else that I've tried was not a success. So yeah, I guess this video was kind of a failure. I didn't really do what I wanted to do and what I intended to do, but it is still quite fun that I've at least managed to get some stuff to work. And I'm also happy that I messed around with this application that lets you run Windows applications on this thing, because I've personally never used it and I think it is still really cool. But I guess this version of Linux just has a too old of a kernel to run pretty much anything. So yeah, if any of you guys have any ideas on how to maybe get some of this stuff to run on Red Star OS, definitely hit me up. I'm not an expert on Linux by any chance. I've never used that software in my life and I know very, very little about it. So if any of you guys see any mistakes in the video, or if you think that there might be a way to get something to run, please hit me up on Twitter or on Gmail, and yeah, I hope we'll be able to sort something out. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, please check out my Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys in the next video.